There is a three-legged stool of assurance that families for generations have looked to universities to provide. Can I get in? Can I get a good college education? And can I do it without being bankrupted? We feel a sense of urgency to make sure that people know that we've always been here providing that assurance.
There are so many avenues and so many off-ramps for students to find their way and to find success here. We are helping people become successful.
The return on investment at Mason is remarkable, as you'll find anywhere in the country. And that's a big deal for families, particularly for our first generation families.
A lot of the work that we do takes the edge off the bureaucracy of a higher ed institution. And I think about how important that is for first generation students who really are coming in, trying to figure out what the system is and looking for their allies, looking for their supports. Also true with international students. Over 80% of our students upon graduation, 87% actually, tell us that they're doing what they intended to do within 6 months after graduation.
In a field related
Yes.
to what they studied
Yes.
here.
Well, we're updating our brand because we've been redefining ourselves over the last 20 years.
We need to keep up with the changing on campus and in our curriculum with visuals that support that. And one thing I like about the new brand is the openness of the design, because it makes me think of the openness and the accessibility to this campus for so many of the students that we've been talking about. And I think it'll be very well received when people understand and look at it from a new direction.
The open ends to this logo symbolize the many pathways in, through, and out of this university. If you have an inspiring identity, one that people will want to come study for, one that people want to come play for, work for, research for, serve for, you will have a thriving university.
One of the reasons I love our new brand identity, which has both a visual expression and our beautiful tagline, altogether different. When you think about the fact that we have combined our growth into a major research university, not just a tier 1, but an upper level research university, with our incredible commitment to student access and inclusive excellence, with our outstanding student outcomes that we are able to produce year after year, that's something that hardly anybody else can do. And I think it's just great that the university has committed to now presenting that in a unified way to a public that probably doesn't know enough about who we are.
Absolutely love the quill, and I love the history of it, and I love what it stands for. To me, you have to continually change and grow and evolve, and it's critical for us to do that in our brand. Having every alumni involved, having the community involved. There are 84 universities within a very small radius, and we have to be distinctive, we have to stand out.
We're in a competitive market, and you want to distinguish yourself. And as we go out into the community and recruit student athletes, we want a logo that speaks to who Mason is. There's about 40 institutions that have the M monogram in D1 athletics. We're the only ones that will be using the GM moving forward, and that's pretty significant.
Why I'm so thrilled that the athletics department is our lead launch partner on this is the mutual commitment that we unify under one look.
And the brand gives us the opportunity to reintroduce ourselves.
Right.
So for folks who may not have an understanding of the Mason of now, a new brand gives us that opportunity.
It's a university that embraces who it is, projects energy to the community, that projects inclusion and opportunity. That's the institution that's going to win when it comes to helping students. It does actually start to change things. And it does start to shape the perception of who we are.
I think that we are becoming the model public institution of higher ed in the country.
Change is never easy. People have different ways of responding to change, different tolerance for change. I really want to recognize that and honor that and affirm that. The fact that people were attached to a prior brand, that's more evidence of what George Mason is. And so imagine us going to the next level now, being able to refresh, being able to respond to change and evolution, and being able to embrace a new look. It's not going to change who we are. In many, many ways, it's going to further affirm who we are and say it very boldly and very proudly.